Hey guys, just a quick little note before we start the show. There's some work being done in the house just next to mine, and it's resulted in a lot of noise, which necessitated a temporary change of location. Or to put it simply, I don't suddenly now own a Mac. In late 1989, Dark Horse Comics used 3 issues of the Dark Horse Presents Anthology title to spotlight a possible crossover between two of their licensed properties, the Alien movie franchise and Predator. The story proved to be a major success for the struggling publisher and would land a pretty big impact a year later in the film Predator 2. The climax of the film featured Danny Glover's character, Lieutenant Harrigan, entering a trophy room stored on the Predator ship. One of the trophies mounted on the wall was the skull of a xenomorph. Fans began waiting with bated breath for a possible cinematic crossover between Aliens and Predator, and in that time period, there would be plenty of ways to feed that hunger. There was comics, action figures, video games. Unfortunately, those hopes would be dashed in 2004 with the final release of the Aliens vs. Predator movie. Problems with the film included: first things first, the film was rated PG-13, whereas both Alien films and Predator films had been rated R, meaning that the blood and guts violence that fans would be expecting wouldn't be happening. Also, the film focused way too much on the human characters involved, leading to very little aliens fighting predators. I mean, it's not like people would be expecting that. It's not like it was the title of the film or anything. Now, the film was popular enough to warrant a sequel in 2007, and while that film was rated R, it still didn't quite live up to fan expectations. The film adopted this weird slasher film-like quality following a group of wayward teenagers, and again, did not feature very many predators fighting aliens. Again, not living up to the title. Anyway, before we get into today's tale, let's do a little tale of the tape. Aliens, or morphs, start out as eggs laid by a queen. The eggs then hatch and produce an arachnid-like creature that looks for a larger organism and then attaches itself to that creature's face. This is called a face hugger. Once attached, the face hugger uses its long tail to implant an embryo inside the host, after which the face hugger detaches and dies. The embryo gestates inside the host, even replicating some of the host's DNA until reaching maturity. The mature embryo then bursts through the chest of its host, hence the name chest burster. It then runs off. Over the next 24 hours, the chest burster grows into its final form, the xenomorph. Predators, sometimes called Yautja or Hishku-10, are intergalactic trophy hunters. The race has perfected tracking, stalking, and killing. Few opponents have bested the Predators, the race often opting to self-destruct via an explosive gauntlet that they wear, rather than admit any form of defeat. But there are some, including most humans, that have proven to earn the race's respect. Now, I should point out that within the parameters of the Alien vs. Predator franchise, this isn't actually canon to either the Alien or Predator film franchises, that the Predators actually created the xenomorphs to use as training for younger Predators to become the elite hunters that they are. They would breed them in these special pyramids and then use the younger predators to fight them and, like I said, train them into becoming better hunters. Anyway, I'd like to say that today's story is the origins of the Alien vs. Predator franchise, but that's not really the case. This is actually a 96-page one-shot story that was released to coincide with the first Alien vs. Predator film. Well, here's Alien vs. Predator, the thrill of the hunt. A group of predators is out on the hunt and preparing to enter the pyramid where they breed their prey. A young predator enters the structure, finding a wall of mummified corpses. The inexperienced hunter is then impaled through the chest by a tail of a xenomorph. The other members of the group get swarmed by other xenomorphs and are quickly taken down. One predator manages to break away and begins fleeing, with the xenomorphs giving pursuit. As a last-ditch effort, the predator activates the explosive gauntlet on its arm and tosses it at the xenomorphs. The resulting explosion kills the pursuers, but also throws the predator off the side of a cliff. I hope you've all enjoyed the alien fighting predator portion of this story, because from here on out, it's all about the humans. In space, scientist Jill Hauser talks with business magnate Charles Lambda and his brother Shane, who is also Jill's ex-boyfriend. They prepare to visit a new human colony. This is the first new colony in 114 years, so making sure the planet's safe is important. Upon arrival, the trio get filled in on local wildlife by the colony's security chief, former big game hunting TV host Bill Faulkner. Faulkner takes the trio to a lab where something has been discovered. It's the predator from earlier being kept in a research chamber. The predator is comatose. Jill states that the colony needs to be evacuated. Humans can't be seen taking over an inhabited planet. But Faulkner points out that this is the only creature they've found, and Charles agrees to stay. Jill storms off with Shane following, trying to talk to her. Shane points out that this is Charles's call, but Jill's not having any of it. Their relationship failed due to Shane's weak-willed nature, and none of that has really changed. Meanwhile, a few of the scientists open up the tank and try to place a shock collar on the predator as he begins to stir. However, their captive jolts awake and kills his handlers. Alarms go off as the predator grabs a man named Dominic and hops over the fence. A party consisting of Charles, Shane, Faulkner, Jill, and a few others ventures out to track down and either capture or kill the predator. However, the hunters fail to realize that their prey is actually hunting them. The predator takes out several of the hunting party and leads the others on a chase. The predator gives the humans the slip and leaves them standing on the edge of a cliff. It's then that the group discovers that they have more than one opponent on this planet as a swarm of xenomorphs appears. Jill recognizes the creatures from the description she read in an old report, but before she can elaborate, a xenomorph grabs her and runs off, with only Shane seeing the direction the creature was running off in. Shane goes back to Charles, Faulkner, and what remains of their hunting crew. Charles dismisses the report Jill mentioned as being by a crackpot. It contains stories of acid-blooded creatures and pyramids built by aliens. As a result, Charles refuses to evacuate. Shane quits and storms off to rescue Jill. Faulkner and a few others volunteer to join him. The group tracks the xenomorphs to the pyramids from before. Unbeknownst to them, the predator has been stalking the group the whole time. The predator enters the pyramid and opens a chamber containing a new set of armor. Meanwhile, the hunting party discovers some equipment that is in communication with an off-planet vessel. They then discover the xenomorph birthing chamber. Shane manages to locate Jill, but the group gets jumped by the xenomorphs once more. Faulkner stays behind to fight the creatures off while Jill and Shane flee. Faulkner tosses a grenade out of desperation, but all it does is bring forth the alien queen. Faulkner manages to evade the queen and meet back up with Jill and Shane, only to wind up being killed by the predator's shoulder cannon. The predator takes off after Jill and Shane as they exit the pyramid. The two run into Charles, who contemplates killing them to ensure that the colony will be left alone. But ultimately he just winds up shooting the predator and deciding to evacuate. Dying, the predator sets off another self-destruct alarm, and the three humans barely escape the explosion. Returning to camp, Charles orders the evacuation, only for the rescue ship to be attacked and destroyed, leaving everyone alone and another group of predators on the way. And so concludes Alien vs. Predator, The Thrill of the Hunt. How was it? Well, the artwork is pretty decent throughout the story. It is actually kind of nice. I've never actually seen a Predator without all the armor get up before, so that was kind of cool. Unfortunately, that's really where the compliments end. The characters in this, the humans, are really one-note and boring. I mean, I wasn't even sure of any of the characters' names sometimes. It was hard to keep track of who exactly was talking. The only one I was really able to figure out was Shane, and that's because, again, he's supposed to be weak-willed. And also, again, for a book called Alien vs. Predator, there's a shocking little amount of aliens fighting predators. So, yeah, this is just really, really, really disappointing, even for a 96-page story. I have to give Alien vs. Predator, The Thrill of the Hunt an F. And with that, let's see what we'll be doing next time on the Random Trade Review. Hey guys, want to recommend a book to be placed in the randomizer? AKA the cardboard box? Well, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/sleepytime for Cap Productions. Or just check the link in the description below and see how you can help make that happen.